Okay, Chair Davies, I think we're ready to go with the roll call
Oh, right.
and calling the meeting to order.
We're not going to wait for Rob to start.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, here it is. Wait a minute.
Oh, can you open that, Leticia?
Really much easier.
And just a friendly reminder to push your green button when you're talking on your microphone.
I often forget. Hi, Rob. Yeah. Brian not coming? Is he over there, Lawson? Oh, right, okay. So we still have a quorum though, don't we? Yeah, right, just. Okay, I now call to order the meeting of the Traffic Safety Commission on August 5th, 2025. And we'll start off with a roll call, if we could go that way round.
Ann James, Public Works Director.
Leticia Galeazzi, Senior Civil Engineer.
Claire Voorhees, Engineering Admin Specialist.
Steve Wise, Vice Chair, Citizen Member.
Richard Davis, Citizen Commission Member.
And Robert Arias, a citizen member.
Okay, so we'll move on to section 3, public comment, where members of the public are welcome at this time to address the Traffic Safety Commission on items within the Commissioner's preview, but not listed on the agenda. Do we have any email?
I do have one email for public comment from a resident that lives on Strayhorn who is requesting flashing beacons at the crosswalk at Strayhorn and Paso Niguel Road by the dog park. So he would like the Traffic Safety Commission's thoughts on the matter. He's citing that traveling south to north on Paso Niguel, there's a bending rise in the road as cars approach the crosswalk and not until cresting the rise of the pedestrians visible in the crossing. Cars at the posted speed are in the crosswalk in a matter of seconds, and those speeding through are even quicker. Folks have shared comments about going to the dog park with leashed, sorry, I'm having a hard time, pets, having to scurry fast as approaching cars appear. So they would like the Traffic Safety Commission to consider flashing beacons at that intersection.
So is it anybody's comment?
Was Strandmore and where?
Strayhorn and Paso Niguel at the Reckin Park's dog park. Strayhorn is the community right across the street from the dog park off of Paso Niguel.
Okay.
And that was the only public comment that I received.
Do they have to, is there a small parking area for the dog park?
Yes,
And is it on the dog park side or across the street?
it's on the dog park side, adjacent to the dog park.
Yeah.
So this is just public comment. It's not on the agenda.
Thank you.
I know that before Ryan left, there was, I think, 3 intersections we had committed to putting flashing beacons on. Do
We have 4 intersections that we applied for a TDA grant to, and we were successful in receiving a grant. That was not one of the intersections, but the grant funding isn't even until next year.
Okay.
So we can agendaize this topic for the next meeting.
Yeah, that's sure.
Okay, are we done? No. Okay, so we'll move on to approval of the June the 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes. So are there any changes requested to the minutes? I have a few points myself. Anybody else?
Just, well, I reviewed it quickly, but the one thing on the e-bike educational opportunities, was really happy with the presentation on what's going on in Danville. I was surprised and happy to see it, but there was a whole article on e-bikes that was in the Pleasant Hill, if I say it wrong, I apologize, the monthly newsletter? Is that-
Outlook,
yeah.
Outlook?
Yeah.
And well, I thought we were talking about putting an article in there. So are we no longer going to put an article on e-bike safety in there anymore?
I think it's one of those things in the future, Steve, that we'll be looking at. I know
Okay,
we've concentrated on getting the annual report in.
okay, I just,
I think we
yeah,
have to take one thing at a time.
yeah, I was reading it and I saw it in there and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't know, yeah.
So the police department has partnered with our public information officers at the request of our council to do public outreach on e-bikes to our residents. And so that is one of the ways that the Traffic Safety Commission is partnering with PD at tonight's event and National Night Out, as well as at Bike Fest, National Night Out, that we had agreed we'd partner with them to help put e-bike information out there to the people that attend both events. But in the article that you are referencing was something that PD compiled in response to our council asking for outreach from them into the Outlook.
Thank you for the clarification. I just didn't know that. Okay, thank you.
Did you have any changes to the minutes under the e-bike section?
No.
Okay.
It was a good discussion, I thought.
We certainly, I hope we have got flyers along the lines of what was put in Outlook to distribute to interested.
They should have everything you need at the table.
Sorry?
I spoke with PD last week. They're going to have everything you need at the table.
Oh, excellent.
You brought a table, right?
I brought a table, yes.
We have everything else.
Yeah.
This is minor, but just so there's no confusion, it's Bike Family Fest. Not just, Bike Fest, just to make sure that we're referring to the same item. Event.
Sorry. Are you, okay?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I noted in item 3 that the final paragraph, you did mention a few other things, and I think they're optional whether they go in or not. When you were talking about what the city was doing in this area for pedestrians and crosswalks. And one of them was you mentioned that the city spends £500,000 every year on pedestrian bike facilities. And
Pounds?
Dollars.
I think what I
I've
said.
only been here 22 years.
Got it.
What is that ratio? I just want to make sure my numbers
I
are
know.
correct.
Yeah, no, it's about
the dollar strong right
1.27
now, or-
at the moment.
So, for clarification, for this year, we're spending close to $375,000 on bike and ped upgrades just at CCB and Taylor.
Yeah, I just wondered whether you would like to include those.
Oh,
in
I
the
see what you're
minutes.
saying.
That was the only thing.
Oh, you might want to go back to that paragraph and take a look at that.
And the other thing was, I think you did mention a few issues which made doing those crosswalks difficult. I mean, apart from the fact that half of it's Walnut Creek. And that was also that islands were needed on one of the crosswalks, which I think is a major one.
Yeah, that was the study that Walnut Creek did, that in order to be
Right.
able to put the flashing beacons at that crosswalk at Geary, that they're going to need an island as well, like a stopping point halfway across. So that is something that they're still working on.
I can add an island.
I think you also mentioned that there were insurance problems with the idea of,
Yes,
using flags and things like that.
yes.
So I didn't know whether you wanted to include those or not.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Claire. Let's add
yeah.
them into the minutes. Thank you.
Just query on item 8, the second sentence, it says cat tracking. I'm not sure I know what that means.
Cat tracking?
Hmm?
Cat tracking?
Cat tracking is after we pave, the consultant goes out and puts the marks on the pavement
Oh, I know
to
what you mean.
indicate what striping is going to go at that location.
Right.
So they put the cat tracking down first so that the owner still has time to make any adjustments that they want to make before the final striping goes down.
Okay.
That's a construction term.
Something new every day.
I'm still waiting for the pound dollar ratio.
Okay. The only other,
That's a tough one.
the only other point I had was under item 9, the second paragraph. You say voting for the Traffic Safety Commission members, city staff on the commission are voting members as confirmed. Is it not city and police department staff?
Well, yeah, we consider PD city staff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
If you want us to make that distinction, we're happy to, though. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, we can make, I consider us the city, the global city, not City Hall.
Okay, that's me done.
Okay, I can make those amendments.
Okay. By the way, I thought they're very useful minutes.
You're good.
They're always difficult to write minutes. How much do you include? How
Oh,
much
it's a lot
don't
of
you?
work.
It's a very measured thing you have to do. So I think they're very good and very informative.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we need to vote on the approval of the minutes and we need to have a proposer and a seconder.
I move approval of the minutes with the changes as proposed.
I'll second that.
Okay. Can we have a vote then? Aye,
Aye.
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 approved. So we now move on to item 5, which is the draft report to council. So shall I hand over to you?
Rob, before you got here, there's just the rest of the commission was not able to review the report until after it was posted.
Mhm.
So PD and planning, and even me to a certain extent, have requested that we have time to review it, provide our comments back to the subcommittee. So I think it makes sense that we'll get the comments from everybody and sent back to the subcommittee early next week. And then you guys can, the subcommittee can meet, review the comments, and then bring the report back. Because I do know that even Paul Maxwell indicated he had some comments and he was unable to be here tonight due to a death in the family. So I believe he's in England right now with the pounds. Sorry, I'm not going to let that go. It's just cute. So my recommendation would be that even if we meet the first week and if we meet the first Tuesday in September and the first council meeting's not till the following week. So we would still have time to get on the September agenda.
Okay.
Okay? That would be my recommendation.
Can I add a recommendation if it's possible? The comments we received from other members, I would assume the subcommittee is going to review them first and then they will be discussed at the next meeting on the 2nd or 3rd, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's at least me, I'm not speaking for the whole commission, if all of the respective divisions that comment on this could be here to
Yes.
explain their position.
Yes. Anybody that had comments will be here to answer questions.
Great, thank you.
Yes. We have to vote on that, continuing the item.
I'm sorry?
We have to have a vote to continue the item.
Oh, okay. So can we have a proposal?
Propose to continue this item until the next Transportation and Safety Commission meeting of September 2nd.
Yes, September 2nd.
Second that.
Okay. Can we have a vote then? Aye. Aye.
And I,
And just to clarify, so September 2nd would be the next meeting when
yes,
we
it's
would
the day after Labor Day.
theoretically approve it, and then the next council meeting, we would potentially.
As long as, yes, we could put it on, we could put it on the agenda.
Has to fit into their agenda,
This
I
is
see.
kind of important. So do you have a timeline of when you think you can get the comments to us so the subcommittee can,
You'll have them early next week.
early next,
Yeah.
that's fast. Thank you.
Yeah, early next week.
Commissioner Arias, I just had one question.
Sure.
For the Bike Family Fest, it is referred to as the Bike Festival in the report, just to be consistent. Would you like Bike Family Fest? Is that
Sure,
the
yeah.
offici- That's the official name?
Just for consistency, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
EFF
I
is
thought,
the
all documents should be
Shorthand
the
of it,
same.
you know?
Consistent.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of.
yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, any more on that? Okay, we'll move on to item 6. Well, we don't have Brian today, so we don't have a report. But he has been providing us with lots of data, so that's been very useful for the report.
That's it. I'm happy to hear that.
So we'll move past that one on to item 7, which is project updates, and if I could hand over to you, Anne, to.
So I'm happy to report that we're substantially complete at Contra Costa Boulevard and Taylor. They energized the signal at Allen on July 30th. So we are substantially complete. The project is substantially complete. We're basically finishing up paperwork. The pedestrian illuminators are not working currently because the SIM card that goes in the signal failed, so we had to order another one. However, if you go up and push the button, you can cross the street, right? I mean, the signals are working, the button is working, you can get across safely. Just the reader that if you pulled up on your bike, that would automatically detect a bike and turn the signal, that is not currently working. But all, the cameras are working, the signals are working. We've gotten some really positive feedback from people who are using them, using the intersection. So that's great.
Good job. So is there anything remaining to be done?
Just punch list items, they're cleaning up some landscaping. We're waiting for the SIM card, and then like normal maintenance
Cosmetic, basically. So,
for the most part. Yeah. Yes, we're substantially complete means all the project work is done and now you're down to like the dribs and drabs, right? Where they walk around with the owner. We're finalizing the irrigation plans and as-built and things like that, but the contractor is substantially complete.
okay. Any more on that topic?
No, I mean, not for me.
Okay, so we'll move on to Commissioner and liaison reports. So are there anything anybody wants to raise on that? Under that?
Yeah, I mentioned last meeting, that we're kicking off the walk and roll event. That'll happen September 4th, I believe. So I also wanted to thank Public Works. There was a dip. I used the Ask P Hill app, and also there was some pylons that were missing, and they were addressed. It was amazing. I think that awareness of the P Hill app, we should continue to push. I'm sure that some people know about it and some do not, but it's very useful.
Good. Okay, well.
I can give a little update if you want.
Yeah.
So annually, as part of the Maintenance Division's annual tasks, we go around to every school site. We trim back bushes around the flashing beacons. We make sure the flashing beacons are working. We update red curb if we need to. And we also touch up the crosswalks. So school starts tomorrow. That work was completed last week. And at several of the school locations, we've added the thermoplastic striping for those crosswalks into our street resurfacing project. So we touched them up with paint for right now, and then they'll get updated in the fall when we have our striper come back on board. So that's good news. So everybody can get to their school site hopefully safely. Engineering staff went with TAPCO last week, and we programmed all the illuminators at the crosswalks for the bell schedules. The illuminators that we put in as part of the crosswalk project, they flash per the bell schedule at each school site. So we met with TAPCO. One of my engineers walked around with them. They programmed all of those. So that is up and working. And aside from kids being sad that it's August 6th and they're back at school, that's all good. And then as part of the street resurfacing project this year, we are actually including several AC pathways to get a resurfacing treatment that go from the streets back to several school sites that the city owns. I think there's 7. So that work will be completed in the fall as well.
I just asked an information question. I did, small point. I did notice on Pleasant Hill Road, the first 2 cross sections from Palos Verdes end have got these flag holsters on the crosswalk.
Yeah, it's a Diablo View and at Pleasant Hill Road.
Are they unofficial or are they?
The city issued them an encroachment permit prior to discussions with other agencies and MPP. So one of those crosswalks is going to get the flashing beacons as part of the grant project. And at that time, we will be taking the flags. Because they got an encroachment permit before a full study was done, we didn't make them come down. but we're not expanding the program. But, so the one at Diablo View will stay until the people that put the flags there no longer want to maintain the flags. The one at Teagland, Pleasant Hill Road and Teagland, which is, that's one, it's further down between Lucinda and Palos Verdes. That one is going to get flashing beacons, and when that flashing beacon project is finalized, we will take the flags down.
So were these encroachment permits, were they obtained by residents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you may recall that we had a big group of people
yeah,
that
of
came at the
course,
last
yeah.
meeting, and their ask was for us to expand the project onto Geary Road. But, you know, the city gave them that encroachment permit.
I understand.
We're not going to roll it back. But the hope is, you know, eventually, I mean, it's going to take a while, just like our street resurfacing, you know, there's a schedule for street resurfacing repairs, and there's going to be a schedule for flashing beacons, right? There's only so many resources we have at a time. And that's something we can talk at the next meeting. But yes, they were legally authorized.
How do they, I mean, I really don't know anything about them. How are they installed? Are they,
I don't actually know how these are going to be installed. We're going to go out with a design engineer.
with these flags that they got the encroachment?
Oh, they're just bracketed on the poles.
Bracketed on the poles?
We didn't even participate in that. We didn't even participate in that. This was
I noticed that on one of the crossings, all the flags were missing, so.
right,
So people are taking them home with them, so.
right. And that actually was one of the city concerns, right? Is if it was a city-sponsored project, we don't have the resources to keep checking to make sure the flags are there, right?
Brackets too. Yeah.
You know, so what, that was just one of the concerns.
Okay.
So, but Teagland, where they have the flags right now, is one of the crosswalks that's slated as part of that grant project to get flashing beacons.
I think that's a much better
Oh,
idea.
Well, I do too. I do too. And that's going to be the same as when we partner with Walnut Creek at Geary Road. It's, you know, they're going to be flashing beacons, not flags.
Interesting. Thank you.
So if we wanted to agendize a discussion on the citizen request for the flashing beacon at Strahan and Paso Miguel, is that something we would talk about now, whether it's something we want to pursue, or is that?
Well, I think we would just discuss it with the chair and agendize it, but I think ideally what the better conversation is a conversation for prioritizing what your thoughts are on prioritizing flashing beacons. We get a lot of requests. You may recall at the last meeting, we had someone request a flashing beacon on Grayson Road, right? So like I was saying, we have more, we had to go out for a grant to do the 4 we're doing, right? So we don't have the resources to put them at every ask, you know, immediately. So I guess if I could agendize an item, I'd want it to be a conversation about what are appropriate guidelines for the priority list for those types of flashing beacons, right?
And remind me, the 3 that we applied for were Canal Crossing.
One's at Westover and one's on Westover. One is at Linda and Susan by the Salvation Army store, and there's 2 at Pleasant Hill Road.
Where on Pleasant Hill were they?
Pleasant Hill Road and Teagland, and I think the other one's at Pleasant Hill Road and Diablo View, isn't it, Claire?
Oh, okay.
So, so we're partnering with the county for the 2 on Pleasant Hill Road because the opposite side of the street is actually in the county.
I understand the county and Walnut Creek have put out a tender, I think the closing date's gone, for bike lanes between Main Street and Jones Road on Treat Boulevard. I wondered if there was any intention of extending that further back into Pleasant Hill in any way, or,
Nobody has approached me about partnering with them on that project.
right? Right. So it's a sort of standalone
Yes.
thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, is everybody in here? Okay, well, if nobody got any more points, we can adjourn.
All right.
Till,
Do you?
meet again on September the